But the big story we're following today, the Mittal Champions Trust, which supported several Indian athletes, has shut shop. The trust, which has sponsored Indian Olympic medalists like Saina Nehwal, Vijender Singh and Abhinav Bindra in the past, has reportedly decided to discontinue sponsoring athletes due to a financial crunch. And in a year where Indian athletes are preparing to compete in the Commonwealth and Asian Games in the next few months, this news comes as a big setback. The Mittal Trust was started in 2005 and was associated with over 40 Indian athletes, including a couple of Olympic medalists. It was associated with athletes like shooters Abhinav Bindra, Ranjan Singh Sodhi, Hina Sidhu, archer Bombayala Devi, long-distance runner Preeja Sridharan, boxer Akhil Kumar and squash player Deepika Palikal. And even though the trust has not given any official response or reason, CEO Amit Bhatia has issued a statement saying, and I quote, "We believe that we did our best to help athletes at Beijing 2008 and London 2012. It is now time to hand over the reins to others to continue this wonderful initiative," unquote. Their decision to end sponsorship has certainly come as a big setback to Indian sports, and India's first Olympic gold medalist Abhinav Bindra had this to say in his reaction. MCT was an individual's effort. They introduced professionalism in the way we ran our sport, and all of us benefited from it.
It is shut down, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just thankful for them to be, for having been there all these years, and not just for me, for so many other sportsmen. And let's just hope that other endeavors like this come up in India and help the sportsmen that are, now left with nothing.
It's a big blow because you can't do anything without finances. I mean, you need money to be the best in the world. You will have to beat the best, and they are preparing with the best, paying a lot of money. We need more than them to get the best professionals, and for that we need some sponsor.
So what happens to the likes of Yogeshwar Dutt and Hina Sidhu now? Joining us live to discuss the future of the athletes is Hina Sidhu herself, someone who was supported by the trust. She's just come back today after winning gold at the Asian Championships. Remember, she's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist and only the third Indian to win a gold in the ISSF World Cup finals. Also with us is Viren Raskina, former Indian hockey team captain and the COO of the Olympic Gold Quest, another private initiative helping budding athletes. And from Kolkata, our consulting editor Boria Majumdar joins us, someone who has tracked Olympic sports closely and is the author of many books on the subject. Hina, I want to come to you first. We are hearing from people associated with the trust that this was in the making for the last 3 to 4 months. When did you first hear that Mittal Trust is shutting down, and how?
I didn't get any formal response. I don't think anybody did get any formal response. But I was closely associated with the people working at the MCT, so that's how I got a hint that maybe they have lost interest in the Indian sports. I am nobody to comment on if.
But why is that? Why do you think they lost interest, Hina?
I can only speculate. Maybe they expected a much better performance from the athletes in the London Olympic Games. That can be one issue. Another can be financial crunch, but we can only speculate. There has not been any formal word from their side, so I don't know. I really don't know.
Boria, don't you find this a little surprising and perhaps disappointing that the athletes associated weren't really given a formal or a pre-warning of this situation?
From what I understand, this was first done in October. The management was informed. I mean, the athletes were perhaps not directly informed, but the Mittal Champions Trust management was informed in India. Subsequently, there were meetings held in London. You've got to say it's a private initiative which has spent 80 crores over the last 8 years for Indian athletics. Obviously, they were looking at London 2012 because the Mittals invested a lot of money in London 2012, including the installation next to the Olympic Park. So they had something in mind. On the one hand, it may be ArcelorMittal not doing too well last year. On the other hand, London 2012 was an ambition which they have fulfilled. The fact is, what they did, and they've done a lot of contribution.
Right.
Now it is upon the government, the federations. The federations have a lot of money, Shivani. Sports Authority of India, look, let me put this on record as a member of the governing body of the Sports Authority of India. If you say that India doesn't have money, you are wrong. Because India has enough money, in fact, to even match Australia and other Western countries.
Right.
Money is not utilized properly. It is not channelized properly.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Borya, that India has enough money, but we have known, and you know this better than many people, that there's been a problem with that money reaching the athletes in time.
Precisely.
Let me also get Viren Raskina on this. Viren, how disappointing is this for you? In a year like this one, 2014, where Indian athletes are just a few months away from Commonwealth and Asian Games.
Yeah, of course, it's very disappointing that Mittal Champions Trust will no longer be supporting many Indian athletes. I must say they have done a wonderful job over quite a few years now, supporting a lot of the elite Indian athletes, including Yogeshwar Dutt, who's one of our Olympic medal winners. They have really done a great job, and in such an important year where the Asian Games and the Commonwealth Games are coming up in 2014, it's going to be very tough for some of the athletes not to get the support of an organization like Mittal Champions Trust.
But my next question, Viren, is that will this raise questions or doubts over other such initiatives like yourself, the Olympic Gold Quest that you are associated with, like your association or initiative that has now been involved with 4 Olympic medal winners. Even the Mittal Trust has helped 4 Olympic medal winners. But there have been initiatives in the past like the Apollo Mission 2018, which ended without achieving its target of a singles Grand Slam champion. Do you think this will raise questions over other initiatives?
See, I really cannot speak for other initiatives and other organizations, but I can say with a great degree of certainty that Olympic Gold Quest is here to stay. It has been the dream of our co-founders Geet Sethi and Prakash Padukone to make it a people's movement, to involve all Indians in supporting Olympic Gold Quest, in our funding especially. And you know, our funders come from all walks of life. We've got many corporates, many HNIs, many individuals supporting Olympic Gold Quest, and we hope to ensure that there's sustained funding. Currently we support the training of 52 athletes from individual Olympic sports, training for the Olympics. 37 of them are senior athletes training for Rio 2016, while 15 are young junior athletes in the age group of 11 to 17 years who we have identified grooming and training for the 2020 and the 2024 Olympics. And you know, if there need to be certain qualities of an organization to be sustainable. One is you need to ensure transparency and accountability. You need to show performance, and there also needs to be good level of communication with funders and all stakeholders. I believe if these qualities are there, if you show a lot of professionalism, I think you have a good chance of keeping an organization like Olympic Gold Quest going in the long run.
Right. Hina, what happens to you now? Will this put you financially in a bad position? How is your funding looking now after Mittal Trust?
Yeah, it's a very tricky situation for me right now, because part of my training thankfully now is being covered by the government, but some parts of it are still, you know, I'm still looking for financial assistance in some parts, you know, accommodation and boarding and lodging and stuff like that. But when I was with the Mittal Champions Trust, it was a professional organization. Everything was taken care of, and for me, unfortunately, I got this news when I won the World Cup final gold along with the world record. So it was a period of very mixed emotions for me. You know, they started working with me when I was you know, practically a junior, and I was a raw talent at that time. So they've been associated with me since the past 5-6 years, and today when I became the world record holder, that is the time when I get to hear this news. And in a year, you know, when we are looking forward to a year when we have Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, and not to forget the World Championships, where we are going to compete for the Olympic quotas. So, you know, financial assistance is deeply required.
So let me take that question to Viren. In fact, Hina, we have both of you on our show. Viren, would you absorb some of the athletes from the Mittal Trust? Hina Sidhu, you have a lot of shooters on your roll already. But will you go forward and take Hina Sidhu on or Yogeshwar Dutt?
See, it's very early days to say right now who we will absorb. But yes, Hina Sidhu is one of our best shooters, one of the best medal prospects for India in the Rio 2016 Olympics. She's been very consistent over the last 3 years. She's just won the Asian air gun gold medal in the 10-meter air pistol event. So there's no doubt of her quality. In fact, she's just back in India from Kuwait today. I will be meeting her tomorrow, her husband Ronak Pandit as well, and we'll be having detailed discussions. And when we are satisfied that we are in a position to make a difference to her, to make a concrete difference to her, we would love to support Hina and a few other athletes as well. It's very early for me to say at this stage, because our support to the athlete is based on pure merit. It's based on very analytical research reports that our research team prepares, and then we take an educated decision to support the athlete.
All right, so Hina, you heard Viren there. He's going to call you and meet you tomorrow. Would you be interested in getting some help from the Mittal Trust now? Sorry, for the OGQ now.
I have been talking to Viren since a few days, and we have hooked up a meeting tomorrow, so let's see how it goes.
All right, so that is good news. Hopefully, Boria, more of these athletes will be absorbed, and the government, the point that you were raising, will now step forward, because it's not too long before the next Olympics.
Look, you know, I've been hearing this discussion, all said and done, these are private initiatives. You cannot put the gun point at anyone's head and say, come on, support. It is the responsibility of the Sports Authority of India and the government. I keep insisting, there is money, but it's used wrongly, it's used unwisely, it's not going to the athletes. That's where the difference needs to be made, Shivani.
Yeah.
It is the responsibility of all of us, even the media, to channelize this. There is enough money. Where is Mission 2020? We heard a lot about that.
Yeah.
We've got to streamline it. Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, athletes like Hina Sidhu, who are national talents, you know, they're pride of this Indian country. We need to channelize these athletes into proper training. I think the government can do a lot. The federations can do a lot. Just recently the IOA has come back. Why don't we make a fresh start from here on? Private initiatives will be there, but government has to take a stellar role.